$1 billion. That's what it may take to win the presidency of this country. It's well known that in any election, the candidate with the biggest checkbook has a clear edge. Candidates for most offices spend most of their time fundraising, but the real level of influence big money has on our democracy is about to reach a very dangerous level. The prospect of a $1 billion Clinton campaign ought to be very frightening for every American, says Gary Hart. Gary Hart is a former Colorado senator and a two-time Democratic presidential candidate who has serious reservations about a Hillary Clinton candidacy, and he thinks Democrats will be better served by a competitive primary. Let's be clear, he's not attacking Hillary Clinton or her platform. What he's saying is that the more we go into the direction of having a few families that can actually pull off a budget of $1 billion to run a campaign is very dangerous. Nick, we are talking about reducing the field of possible presidents to a few families, and that's very scary.
Yeah. I don't like the idea at all of somebody buying in their presidency.
Yeah.
It doesn't make for good politics. I don't think so. You mentioned few families. Who can afford this kind of money? It's the Clintons, it's the Bushes.
Today it is.
Yeah, we know that. And it's sad when you think that 95% of elections are won by the person with the most money.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it goes. And when you have a country like America with 330 million people, it's like you're talking two families that keep ruling again and again. That's inevitably going to leave a lot of people out, unfortunately.
Hart shared his own experience as a presidential candidate, and he shared the story of him and his wife going on a second mortgage of their house and getting in between $50,000 and $75,000 in 1984. Jump, huh? And for them, that was a big boost for their campaign. And although he didn't win the primary at the time, he did go really close. Fast forward a couple of decades, and now we need $1 billion to be on the running for president. This is wrong, and the problem is that concept that he is talking about dynasties. Reducing the access to power to a few dynasties that can then work with the other few dynasties that keep all the money in this country, the famous 1%. But what is going to happen when we are represented by the 1% and the other 99%, which is happening already? Yeah. That is the truth, and we have to be honest. This is nothing new. We are seeing that there are a few glimpses of hope, though. We have an election going on in Chicago for mayor, where we have kind of this Cinderella story, where Chuy Martinez is trying to be the mayor with almost no donors compared to Rahm Emanuel that has all the donors, that he has support of the president. But we are seeing that there are a few key races that are popping up where we are defying this idea. But at the president level, to win the White House, I don't see that happening.
I hope I don't see it happening, but Jose, seems pretty real. I mean, if he's saying these things, I mean, look, just get the idea. What's going to happen when you need to be a billionaire or at least raise $1 billion in order to run? Yeah, exactly. What kind of people are going to be running? What is that going to say about our country? Who's not going to be acknowledged by these politicians? Who is going to benefit? Who's not? The wealthy will. The poor people just will be completely left out.
Well,
and that's the direction they already are. But it's like, what a big jump from when he was running for president, talking about $50,000 to $70,000, giving him a big boost, to now $1 billion, and she's not even guaranteed. We saw Ted Cruz, who got a few million. What was it? $8 million in just a week. Like, come on.
That was nothing. And some analysts
he was the first Republican to come out.
And some analysts will tell you that it's pocket change compared to what is needed to win the presidency. But let's talk about the Democratic Party. He also talked about this idea that how unhealthy it is for the Democratic Party to run this unopposed primary. And he's saying that as we stand today, only 50% of the Democrats are behind Hillary Clinton. We still have 45% or 50% that are not with her. So what he's saying is that it's very important that Hillary runs with a strong opponent in the primaries, so she is forced to define her platform.
Yeah.
She's forced to come to face the Republican nominee with a very defined, strong platform that can be debated, because otherwise she's going to have to do that work on the general election. And that it's a potential problem. But we want to know, what do you think? Do you think that it's completely bollocks that we need to raise $1 billion to become president? Where is the dream of those little kids that say, I can be a president? Well, maybe not if you don't have the right last name. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the Lib TV.